Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So this one is going to be a full sew-in weave with a center part, as you can see. A center part leave out, that is. So if you'd like to see how I do that, continue watching this video. So right now I am just parting out her center part. That is the part that I want to fall onto the hair that I'm going to be sewing in. I've just dyed her hair in black just so it could match the weave a little better. I'm actually using 3 packs of Brazilian hair, and I think it is 28 inches and 28, 26 and 24 inches. So what I'm doing right there is to part out that last cane row that I will be doing to attach the hair onto. What I like to do is to take a little jam and just to put it at the front so I get all the hair in, because you know one strand of hair can pull in a wrong direction or somewhere and hurt the client, as if it's like really like a lot of hair. So what I'm doing now is to just add a little bit of braiding hair, and I'm just going to start that cornrow with the braiding hair. You guys, let me say this again. Usually here in Jamaica we would call cornrows cane rows. So if by chance you hear me going back and forth with it, just please know that I'm referring to cornrows, okay? I will try to continue to say cornrows, but you know, sometimes I'm going to mess up and say cane row. But whatever you guys know it as, I am fine with that. So what I'm doing is to take a smaller than usual around the perimeter of the leave out. So I'm going to do that side and stop it right in the middle of the leave out, and then I will be doing the same thing for the other side. I didn't want to leave out too much of her hair on around the perimeter, around the hairline of her head. I didn't want to do that, so as you can see I left out just a little, because she's not necessarily going to wear it way up into a ponytail. You know, if she's gonna put it into a ponytail, it's gonna be a low ponytail. So what I'm leaving out is actually just enough to maybe make edges if she wants to, or to kind of just comb it back onto the weft, so it's not like obvious. However, the way I do this sewing, you will see that the weft will not be showing at the front. Okay, so you don't need a lot of hair to cover it. You guys, I did not speed up this part of the video because I intended for this video to be a detailed sewing video, okay? So bear with me if you get a little bored, but if you really want to learn, then you won't get bored. So you know something, take some notes, grab something to drink, and stay here with me, okay? So that's what I'm doing. Just like I did this side, I'm doing that side, and I'm allowing those 2 cornrows to meet smack in the middle of the leave out. All right, when you part in a leave out, you don't want to part the leave out too small, because if you leave out too little hair, you're going to end up showing your weft. The hair will not look as though it will not cover the weft, that last weft, and you don't want that. So make sure to leave out a good amount of hair, and if your client's hair is finer, you want to leave out way more, and if her hair is thicker, you can actually leave out less. But just make sure the amount that you're leaving out is adequate to cover that last wave. As you can see, I'm just combing down the edges of her hair because I don't want too much down, as I said before. I know I'm going to make one vertical excuse me, one vertical cornrow from the starting of that cornrow that I just did down just around the hairline, so I have a reinforcement when I'm ready to sew the weft onto her head. You guys, this baby here, right? That little baby girl, she's been, oh my goodness, she's been wanting me to do her hair for the longest while, you guys. And I did promise her, and I just cannot find the time to do it. And she's about to, she's very disappointed, and I'm so sorry I'm disappointing her. But I will find the time to do her hair. I promise her. And I just might film it as well. So if you guys want to see me doing that little miss hair, you guys can leave it in the comment and I will think about it. She's sweet though. I used to do her hair when she was younger, but I haven't done her hair in a while. So as you can see, I'm just going down with that cornrow, and I'm going straight down to her ear. Make sure that cornrow is small enough, because you don't want it to be too big. That cornrow at the very hairline should be as small as possible. So I've stopped that right at her ear, and then now I'm going in with another one. You could actually do this one a little bigger, but not too big. A little bigger than the very first one at the hairline. And as you can see, I'm grabbing my hair, just a tiny bit of braiding hair, or some people like to use natural, Remy hair or Brazilian hair, whichever suits you. You can use any hair. But I decided to use some regular braiding hair, and I'm just taking just a little piece and braiding that in, because what happened, you really need a small amount of braiding hair, because the purpose of the braiding hair is to get a little grip at the very starting point of the cornrow. You want to know that there is actually hair at the very tip, so you can attach the weave onto it. You don't want to be attaching it onto just hair that is pulled back. You want to make sure you have a little, I don't want to say bump, but I want to make sure you have a little grip that is actual enough hair. You know what I mean? But if you have ever done a sewing before, or you've done some sewings before, you will understand what I'm saying. And for the people who probably has never done this before and want to give it a try, just trust me and do exactly as I say, and you'll see how it comes out. I've been doing sewing for a while now, and I have a lot of different technique that I use to get a nice and flat sewing, and I also have different types of foundation that I can use to get it the way I want it. And when I said foundation, I really mean the braid down section of the sewing. So right through, I'm going through with some more vertical braids straight down. And as you can see, I'm making them a little bit bigger as I go along, because as you get to the middle of her head, you don't really have to do them very, very small, because as long as it's not too big to be bulking out of the hair, when you finish sewing it on, you're good. So just use your discretion, or your creative side of you, or think about it. Do it in your head. Think about, is this braid too small, or is this braid too big, or is this braid perfect? Yes. So as you can see, you guys, oh my gosh, I'm just talking. You guys, I was born for this. Anyhow, you see, when I braid down those two at the front, I had just connected them with that last braid, and I've just done that, so I have one braid down. You get me? Yes. So now I've gone past the side of her head, and I'm now heading to the back. So this braid that I'm going to be braiding down, it's going to be going all the way to the back of her head. And you guys, when you're doing this part of the hairstyle, you want to just follow the perimeter of the head. So I've gone down there, and you see, I pick up that hair, and I'm just connecting it to the last plait. So I'm going down to the perimeter to the back of her head, and you want to make sure that you're picking out those hair at the extreme hairline of the nape of her head. Don't try to get those, because it is not necessary and it will hurt your client. So you want to just pull them out, wherever you see like it's pulling up. Just flick them out and leave them down. It will not harm the hairstyle, and it will not harm your client. It will be doing more good than harm. So what I'm doing, I'm just going down, and then I'm picking that last end of the braid, and I am just getting that in and making it flat. I speed up this part some, because I just didn't want this video to be over an hour. So yes, and I know you guys are quick learners, so I know you get the picture already. So what I'm doing now is to connect the two that I've left on the top, the two that the first cane row that I did. I am going to just connect those into the braid at the back while I X them, so you can bring them across and connect them to the back. This foundation is very easy, you guys, so you can try it out and maybe just add it to the way you do your foundation for sewing, and let me know how it goes. So I've just grabbed the other side and braiding that down. And as you can see, you don't need to make neat parts for this part. I mean, the neatest you want to have it is the ones at the side. Yes, so I'm just going down with that, and I'm making sure that I'm not grabbing those small hair at the very back, as I said. You guys, this video is quite long, and I really don't want to be chatting, you know what I mean? Because I can. So I don't want to be talking too much. So most of us that does hairdressing, cosmetology, all of that, we are visual learners. I am a visual learner. So when I was in school, the practical part of it was I was just all for it. I just want to do the practical. The practical was everything to me. The theory, yes, you had to do it, and it makes a lot of sense, but I really am a visual learner. So if a lot of you guys are too, this video is perfect for you, because I tried to put in everything. This is me doing the other side of her head. However, it is small like this because I thought that my camera was filming horizontally, but I did not realize that it was actually filming vertically. So for me to edit it here, it had to be like that. But no, nevertheless, I wanted you guys to see what I did. And you guys, this is a voiceover, so you know, I sometimes will be talking in the past tense, you know, because I've created this content and then now I'm just voicing it over. So I've right throughout I've been connecting the previous breakdown into this current one. So I will end up having just one braid at the end to contend with. You guys know I'm using my crochet needle and I'm just carrying that last braid through the cornrows just to tuck it. You don't have to sew it if you only have one plait. You don't have to sew it, you can just tuck it in. However, if you had to leave out several braid at the end, then that's the time when you can actually sew it to make sure that it is nice and flat and tucked. So this is it, you guys. You see how I crisscross that very the corner around the leave out? You want to do that because it makes that section nice and flat. So that is it, you guys. That's the foundation for the weave. So now I'm about to add the very first bundle, and what I did, I had pushed the needle through the weft and then I knot it and continue to sew. So now I'm not pushing the needle through the weft anymore. I am pushing it through the hair, not actually through the weft. You guys, that one was a tongue twister. So see up close. Sometimes if you are like me, that like your thread to be very long, sometime when you just start, you will get into a little problem there where it's so long you can't pull it quick enough. But don't worry, use your finger as a guide. Just leave your thumb inside of the thread so it doesn't get tangled. I find that works wonders. I'm using that roller clip to just clip the hair so I know exactly where I want to sew it. And for right there, I am sewing the weft under those cornrows. I'm sewing it under. So if for any reason she wants to pull her hair up, she can do so without, you know, too much, right, too much, without seeing the weft, even though this sewing is not really done to put your hair in a ponytail. Otherwise I would have left out a lot at the back. So that was not what we were going for. So I'm just going through and just sew the hair to the next end. I'm not cutting the weft as yet. I'm not cutting the bundles just yet. I am going to actually put this bundle in without cutting it. And this is the first bundle, as you can see. This is the 28 inches. So can you see that my thread is a little long, so I'm using my thumb and my index finger to guide it so it doesn't get tangled. Because once your thread gets tangled while you're sewing, you're going to have to cut it and start over again. So what I'm doing now, I've reached to my desired section, so I need to come back around with my hair. And I will show you exactly how I do that when I am coming back from this side, okay? I'm pushing that through at the last one, and then I'm just simply fold it back, making sure that it is flat. So I'm just folding it back. I'm not folding it onto the other weft, but I'm folding it on top of the one below. And as I fold it, I make sure to knot my thread right there so it doesn't shift. And that's what I do. And how I make a knot is I just push the needle through, and then I use the thread itself to wrap around the tip of the needle about 3 times and pull it, and that's it. You guys, she's helping me out with the threading of the needle. Save me a little time. Because what I like to do is to thread 4 needles just before the service, but you know those will run out eventually. And you guys, if you stitch like this, you don't need to knot your thread with every stitch. You don't need to do that. I find that this method is perfect, as in the weft does move. Some of my clients where they where they're sewing for like 3 months, 2 months, because it's not moving. So if you want me to do like a detailed video on the actual stitching of the weft, you can leave that in the comment section as well. And if you guys get to this part of the video, congratulations, because I know the video is long. It's kind of like a mini course, you know. So if you want to learn how to do this type of style, or you want to do them better, you're at the right place, because this one is for you. So you guys, I wish I was able to have you see right around the other side as well, everything that I do, everywhere that I go, but unfortunately that is not possible just yet, because I have to keep the camera stationary. So just know that whatever I do on this side that you're able to see, I'm doing the same exact thing on the other side. Can you guys see how I fold the hair? I'm just folding it onto the other side, making sure that you're not folding it onto the previous weft. Just fold it off of it and you're good to go. And don't leave a belly when you fold. Just try to get it as stiff as possible and as close as the cornrow as possible. You see how flat that is? And the weft, I'm not cutting them. Just imagine if I was cutting them. Just trust the process, you guys. I'm doing the very same thing on the other side. If you do your weave this way, you will see how flat it will come out. And as I said, you guys, I do these videos, and I do YouTube because I just feel like the videos that I make, let's put it this way, the videos that I make, the content that I create, it's really the content that I would love to have when I just came in this industry, when I just started to do hair. And also I was doing hair I was doing hairdressing probably about 4 or 5 years before I thought that, something, maybe I could learn to do weave. And I literally decided to quit my job and go to work at a salon where they did only weave. So because of that, I was doing only weave, and I was seeing only weave done in a proper way. And then I'm like, hey, after 3 months, I was like hitting it. I was like, yes, this is giving. So that's how I actually learned how to do these type of work, because when I just started out, I was really just into hair care, like the care of the hair that is growing from the scalp, you know what I mean. I was never interested in like this type of work. But when I learned how to do it, I'm like, yes, I'm feeling this. I am loving it. So I started just to offer it as a service. And yep, this is me 5 years later, doing so many of them and loving the results. Okay, so I want you guys to zoom in on this part. So right now, my second bundle, the first row of my second bundle is going to go up around the perimeter of the hairline. Look, so I put it right up to that cane row at the hairline, and I start right there. You can see how I knot the thread, and then now I'm pushing it through the hair. I've pushed the first one through the weft, and then now I continue pushing it through the hair. And while I'm sewing, I'm guiding that weft right below the cornrow right there. I don't want it exactly on top because I want to make it as flat as possible. So I'm putting it right below the cornrow. And I'm doing that also because I want to make sure that half of the cornrow or most of it is left out, so I'm able to attach the other hair coming to her face on that cornrow. Just keep watching and you'll see exactly how I will merge them together. So you can see that cornrow is still peeking out, so I still have some surface area to attach my other weft. And I'm going right around with that same stitching technique. Well, the stitching technique that I've been using right throughout. It's the same stitching style I've been using since we've started this hairstyle. And if your thread ever get a bit tangly, just pull the thread apart and pull one of them. When that happens, sometimes the two strands of thread is not equally being pulled. So one is being pulled with more tension than the other one. So all you just need to do is go in and pull the other one just the same, and then you'll get it back, straightened. Because you don't want to go on with your stitching while it's not straightened. You don't want no excessive thread gathering at one point. You don't want that. I'm just doing the other side the same exact way I did the first side. And as you can see at this point, I am cutting my bundles because, whoa, this is a very sensitive topic, because a lot of clients, a lot of people do not like to cut their bundles. However, what we have to do is to help them to understand that if you want a nice flat sewing install, you are going to have to cut at least on that last bundle. You have to cut on that last bundle, because there is no way you're not going to cut on that last bundle and expect to get a nice seamless sewing. I'm not going to say nothing is impossible, but it's almost impossible, because I have clients who I cannot cut their bundles and I still do their hair. I just know within myself that had they allowed me to cut their bundles, it would have been nicer. It would have been more seamless. It would have been flatter. But I still have to respect my client's decision. And if they decide not to have their bundles cut, well, honey, I just have to do that. So as you can see, as I get down to that last braid that I've put the vertical instead of horizontal weft onto, I'm just kind of sealing it, like combining it together so it's nice and flat and flowy. I don't want it to look like detached. I want to make sure that it's attached to the previous weft, that horizontal one around her hairline. You guys, this hair was not the best quality, I must say, but it was okay. Like, it's not the best quality, but it was okay. And you guys, I am just going in and I'm just folding that back, because I felt like I could, when I fold it back, you could see that it's still flat. So I'm like, hey, why not? And now I'm just asking her to pull that last bundle out for me. And I think that last bundle is 20, wait, 28, 26, 24. That last bundle is 24 inches. And you see how I just effortlessly attach that first part of the weft to that section of braid that I've already attached one to, because I've left out enough space so it can just fall right into place. You guys, this sewing took me about for the foundation, the braid down, and sewing the weft on, it took me about 2.5 hours. Yes, about that. You guys, come close, come close. Look at how I attach this weft onto the one at the hairline. So I just take, making sure that I'm going through that piece of the braid right there, the cornrow, and attaching it to the last part of it. Very tip. You don't want to have anything flopping over. So that's all I did. And then I'm just going through with the same stitching that I was doing before. You guys, I really hope that for all my subscribers and all the people that will watch this video, I hope that you learn something from this video. What I always hold true to me is that I used to go to a lot of hair show. Well, before COVID came, I used to go to a lot of hair show. Like, if there is a hair show, I am there. So a lot of time I get bombarded by the information and the knowledge that they have for me, and I'm like, hey, geez, this is just too much going through my head. But what I've told myself is that, Shanice, if you go to a hair show or a seminar and you come back home with just two things or even one thing that you've learned, it is still good enough to apply and make a difference through the work that you will put out, or the art that you will create. So that's just how I look at it. So don't worry about, maybe you're saying, oh my goodness, there's so many things to learn in this video. Don't worry, you can always come back and watch it, and you will always have it to say, oh, let me go back there, let me go back there. No problem. So this is the beauty of creating video, because you can always see it over and over again. So I'm getting up to that last track. So I'm doing, this track is the third to last track. I have two more left. So I'm just placing this track to seal that part, so I can go in with my next two to make sure that it's nice and flat. And you guys, I was even contemplating to make this video into a two-part video, but I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna give everything, all I've got in this video, you know? And I'm like, yes. So I know for the people that are interested, they will watch it to its entirety. So right now I'm at the last two tracks, which is the most important. Oh my goodness, I know you guys. Every track is important, but you can't mess up with these two, because if you do, you're gonna have a problem. So now you will see how I merge these two. I use a clip, as I've been doing, just to keep the hair in place. So what I'm doing now, as I've done many, I'm going through with the needle through the weft, and I'm pulling that through, and then after I push it through the knotted part of the thread, and that's how I start all of my tracks. And then I'm going through. What I'm doing here, look carefully, I'm using my knee, I'm pushing my needle through half of that cornrow, and I'm making sure that while I push my needle through half of that cornrow, I am guiding the weft beneath that cornrow, because I'm going to put another weft, another row above that same one, so I kind of tuck it under so it's nice and flat. And I'm making these stitches a little bit closer, because you want it as flat as you can get it. And as you can see, you guys, I'm not knotting my thread for every stitch. If you do this, as I said before, if you do this stitch, you don't have to do that, because this is very long lasting and it is perfect. Okay, this is the very last track, and as you can see, I am just about there. So now I'm going to do the same stitch, just like how I push it through, like I was telling you, through the weft, and then I am going to guide that weft above that cornrow, that last cornrow, because I want to make sure that when you, if she were to part the top part of her hair, she will not be seeing the cornrow at all. So that's how I tuck that in, so it doesn't show, and also so it's nice and flat. Ooh, can you see that? I like. And this is how it looks, you guys, when I was done. That's what it's looking like. The other side. Now I'm just going to blow dry the hair a little with my comb attachment on my blow dryer, just to get it separated a bit, because I will be flat ironing her hair. I really wanted to curl it, and we might just curl it the next time she come for maybe a freshen up, but we decided to go straight this time. I've sprayed some heat protectant on her hair, and then I'm just using my flat iron, and I'm using my flat iron on, I think it's the highest heat setting. I think it would have been 450. I think 450, and I'm just passing that through. You guys, let me take this opportunity to thank you, all of you guys who subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned. I have lots more content for y'all. Yes, so don't forget to like this video if you've gotten value from it, and share it. You never know, someone will get value as well. And comment. You know, guys, what I was thinking the other day, something came to me, and I'm like, yes, I could think about that. I am from Jamaica, right? I'm a Jamaican. So people always say to me, Shanice, you don't sound like a Jamaican. And I'm like, why do people always say that? I mean, we speak English, you know? A lot of people just think that when you hear from a Jamaican, or if you come to Jamaica, you will only hear or broken language or patois. Actually, I would say patois and English is two different language, but we speak English, you know? So I was just wondering if I should do a video and voice over the video while I speak in patois. What do you guys think? Anybody watching my video have been to Jamaica or know of Jamaica or is a Jamaican and know? Tell me if you guys want to see that, because I think it would be hilarious. Like, I don't know if I could actually go through with it. It's gonna be too funny. So let me know if you would want to see me do that. So you guys, right now I'm just blasting the hair that I've left out with my flat iron. I'm using a different flat iron for her hair because that baby blaze that I was using, it's just too hot. So I just like to use another ceramic flat iron for their natural hair. I don't want to be back and forth with the temperature gauge, so I just use a different flat iron altogether. So as you can see what I'm doing, I'm using some beeswax and I am just putting it onto mostly the ends of her hair that I'm leaving out, and then flat ironing that in because her hair is very thick and I want it to blend as best as possible. And I really didn't want to cut her hair just for the sake of this style, so I just had to do whatever I had to do to make it blend properly without me having to cut her hair. Ooh, can you see that shine, you guys? Nice and shiny. And y'all, I promise you, trust me, if you were to do this method and then you just add some curls with your client here or some body wave or some barrel curls, it would be so nice. It's just that we were going for it a straight look today, but trust me, some curls would have been giving, it would have been so hot, so sexy. The straight hair is as well, but curls would have just, yeah. Right, but we did straight. So what I'm doing now, I realized that her hair, because it is so thick, it didn't blend. Her hair is blunt because she had gotten a haircut not long ago and it is blunt. The ends are blunt, right? So I'm just going over with the flat iron, taking up a little of the Brazilian hair and her hair, just to kind of make sure that I merge them properly so her hair can kind of blend better. So that's what I was doing right there. And I'm going through, you guys, can you see how flat that is? I'd ask her to stand up so I could run my flat iron through the ends nice and smooth. I'm sorry you guys didn't get to see that. Yep, this is the final look. You guys, tell me what you think. Please leave a comment and like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet. Turn on your post notification bell and watch me work, you all. And that's the final look. So nice. I love it. She's hot. Okay, you guys, thank you for watching. Bye.